Hey, John here. Listen, I already fixed the snowblower, but I thought to comment this. If you've got a snowblower that the engine shit to bed and you're contemplating, well, should I get a new one, or, how's this going to work? I might have a video for you that could be interesting. So this was a snowblower that the engine caught on fire for whatever reason. I was able to acquire another one, but literally to swap this engine out with almost an identical one, that's the old engine that had a fire, you can do this, and I shit you not, in 15 minutes. It's that easy. And I just wanted to point that out. So if you can find an engine, if your snowblower shits the bed because of the engine, you can find an engine like these Snow Kings by Tecumseh. They're a dime a dozen. You could probably find one in scrap. I mean, seriously, they're probably 50 bucks will get you an engine. And I'm just throwing that out there, but these are very common engines, and they're they last forever. So if your engine shits the bed and you can acquire another engine, to swap out an engine on a snowblower is like probably the easiest thing as far as swapping engines out. So I did this in an hour. I got this thing running in an hour, and that's because I had some modifications to do, because that's not exactly the same engine. It is a Briggs & Stratton, and for the most part it lined up, but I did have to drill some holes because that's a much wider engine. It's a bigger engine than that engine, and I don't know the details on what size that is, but the base of that engine on the bottom there is only 7.5, and the base of this engine here was 9.5, so it is wider, plus it's 4 or 5 inches taller. Just a bigger engine in general. So as long as your drive, your output shaft is the same diameter as far as the pulleys and all that, you should be okay. And I found that there was a lot of holes in the plate there on the body that would accept different engines, but I did have to do a couple modifications. That's why it took me an hour. But literally, don't throw your old snowblower away, especially if it's a good one. I like this Troy-Bilt because it's all metal. It's when Troy-Bilt still made them, and now I think MTD's involved in it, or has been for a while. But this is mine, and I'm really contemplating on selling the Troy-Bilt now, because the problem with the Troy-Bilt, you see these bars I put on there, is because just the handlebars were so low. It's not like I'm 8 foot tall, only 6 feet tall, but this was always a knuckle dragger, and to turn it around you'd have to basically bend down to your knees. This handlebars on this one are way up there, so I like that. So I might even keep this for myself, but I do have to wait for another storm to see if this thing actually is going to be worthy, because the crap I got out here now is not worthy for really any snowblower. I mean, it's just that mashed potato wet crap that clogs any. I did that little piece there with it, and it blew it fine, but as you can see, it's just crappy. Get some fluff, and I'll take that for a spin and see what's doing. Make a decision which one I want to sell: the old Troy-Bilt, which works great, works fine, or this Craftsman I picked up for nothing, put an engine in. 300 bucks either way. Anyways, let me show you what I did to it. This Craftsman, I don't even know what year it is, but this thing had a fire, an engine fire, and I don't know why, but I got this in scrap. The people didn't want to invest money, I guess, and it's, I just can't believe the stuff people just throw away. But the engine fire caused some damage. I guess they tried to rip this up to put it out, but nonetheless, it's, I was debating on what to do with this, as far as should I, try to replace what's wrong with it. There's a lot of burnt wires in there. I don't know if you can see it. This would have to be replaced. It's all messed up. Gas tank, looks like got a little singe there. But before I got involved with it too much, this is why I'm not going to replace parts. Listen to this. Absolutely nothing. Well, nothing really. I mean, so I do have another engine for it. I don't know what's wrong with this. Once I get it apart, I can probably tell. I'm assuming something went wrong inside. Don't know why it burned again. But this engine over here is the same engine. I guess that one was off a, I don't know, something that fell off a truck. Who knows really, but this is the identical engine. I got this for nothing too, but this one has compression. You need two hands to pull it, but trust me. So my thought was, let's just pop this guy into that guy and see what happens. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm hoping that it'll just unbolt the engine and pop it on and see what happens. So let me take off a few things, see if that's even possible without getting too involved here. I got about an hour, so I want to see if I can swap this engine out right quick and see if she starts. This one has gas in it. I'm gonna have to let that gas out, but other than that, if there's something wrong internally with this engine, I do need a gas tank for my wood splitter. It's the exact same gas tank, and that starters, those starters are wicked money, so I can make money off the parts off this engine. Maybe $100, maybe a little more, I don't know. See what happens. But everything's free, so I plan on putting this engine in and trying to sell it for 300 bucks. The last one I sold, that snapper, went out the door real quick, 300 bucks. So let's see what happens. Let me get this thing apart. Wow, man. So this might be the easiest thing I've done. You know, it's like, you know, them NHRA dudes can change an engine, you know, in like 14 seconds at a pit in between races. This thing is literally, so far, I've taken off this pulley, first I did take this chute off, right? Two little bolts holding that on. Them belts, you know, slide around this, this pulley goes on here. It's got its own keyway. I'm glad the shaft is the same, by the way. But I slipped off the spring for the tensioner, pushed this in, two belts, boom. I've been literally doing this for 3 minutes. Bolts here on the nuts, just undid the nuts, 4 nuts. Look at this. It's ready to come off. Nothing holding this engine on. This spring down here is just part of this tensioner, but it looks like I just got to swap over whatever this shield is protecting. I don't know, maybe it's just, I don't know, there ain't nothing behind there, so maybe it's just for this belt keep, I don't know, but that's all I got to do is change over this and this shield. That's it. I mean, this thing's ready to come out. I thought I was going to have to take all this stuff off to get the gas tank off, blah, blah, blah. I think I could do this whole thing in like 10 minutes. I got to see what happens here. See if this other one starts up. That'll be something else. Alright. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen. Not really. But they are a little different. One's higher than the other. But it ain't going to make a difference. As you can see that platform over there. You can go as high as you want. So, I wasn't aware of this. There's literally no linkages, no nothing hooking that engine up to this snowblower. The only thing that's linked to that carriage is this little spring here for the tensioner, you know, and that just goes into a crack over here, right here, in that corner there. It's like, you know, it just stretches over there and slips into that. That's it. Everything else is, I mean, look, the studs are there. You just take off 4 bolts and you lift the engine out. After you take this pulley out, that's it. The pulley is the only thing that hooks. Where'd it go? That pulley there is the only thing that hooks that machine to the engine via belts there. That's unbelievable. So anyways, there's a couple of things I got to do, like take this shield, move it to here. I mean, there is a couple of differences. Like I see there's only 4 bolts here on this engine. Looks like a smaller engine. It's definitely, you know, shorter. I don't know what the size CC is, but I don't think it's going to matter. I mean, muffler's way bigger. Like I said, everything, I thought it was identical, but it's not. It's pretty Stratton, you know, everything's similar. But all the bolt holes here, you know, you basically got everything you need. So I'm going to go ahead and swap these over, and then pop that back in, put some gas and oil on this thing, and this will be like a 10-minute fix. Seriously, if I wasn't videotaping here, I've got 3 minutes invested in this. It's unbelievable. I didn't realize they were that easy because I was contemplating on whether taking this stuff off the old engine, you know, from the new engine, swapping it over, see if that'd be easier. But hell no, this is way easier. So anyways, let me swap this. I can't get over how easy this is going to be. I'm saying that now, but maybe something happened. I doubt it. I mean, this looks pretty straightforward. Again, I don't know what happened to this engine, and I don't even know if this engine runs. It's just got no gas in it, but I was told there was nothing wrong with it, so we'll just go with that. It does have a lot of compression, so that's always a good thing. So that being said, I'm just gonna pop these things on and see what happens. And this is going to be like the easiest thing I've ever done. Probably should clean that up a little bit, but I'll get it later. And I didn't even know if you need this shield, you know, it ain't really doing nothing. As far as, you know, maybe protect, I don't know, there's nothing, even with the belt blow, there's nothing really to get into. But nevertheless, I'll put it back on there. You must have known that was too good to be true, right? So that base plate is 7.5, and that base plate is 9.5. So the holes for the studs, bam, bam, you can't, it's 9.5 across. These are 7.5 across. So I thought this was going to be so simple. So hopefully I'm going to take these, I'm going to take this, see if I can get this plate off, see if there's holes here, you know, different holes underneath on the base part of this. Then maybe I'll get lucky, because otherwise I'm still going to use this engine. I'll just have to drill some holes, which, you know, is what it is, but I'm definitely putting that goddamn engine on because it's going to work, god damn it. So instead of a 10-minute fix, I might, well, let me take that plate off, see if there's anything under there first. Alright, so a little unlucky, there's no additional holes, but not by any means, you know, it's still going to happen. See what's going on is this plate, when it's in place, the handlebars are holding it, but it was these, what was it? I think it's 1, 2, and I think this was 1, 3, and 4. Yeah, this hole here. So this plate will still work, but there's no corresponding holes under it. So I've got to use this where it's cut in here. So these two right here works. My hand's in the way, but those two right there, and this big one, and that cutout there. You know, the plate's designed for that engine. So don't know why there's no corresponding holes, but I'll put this plate back down and center tap, you know, all the bolts I need, drill them out, and instead of 10 minutes to change an engine, so it's 20 minutes. But I'm still glad that the plate is a template, and it would accept it. In fact, I might even do that, just bolt it back down, just tap it and drill, you know, with this on, tap it, drill it, and then I can access from underneath, because the bolts, you know, they'll drop through without them speed nuts on them. So I'm going to have to, you know, figure that out. But so it's still going to work. I'm still going to do it. So let me turn the camera back on when I get these drilled out. I got some pilot holes drilled. The only problem I'm going to have is, you know, I'm not going to be able to make the whole square. You know, aside from sitting here filing out a square, I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to have to tip this up on the side, or on its edge there on the tunnel, and you know, I'll have to I don't know, I'll figure something out. I might even just tack weld from underneath. I don't know, I got to see what it looks like under there. But I do have to you know, use a step drill here to get these a little bit bigger holes, and then I think we're in business, because the bolts actually slid down. They're in the, you know, these speed nuts had to come off. That was what was holding the bolts up. So I might flatten these out and use them again. I might be able to do that, and I'll have to get some other bolts, you know, without the carriage type square. And if I could flatten these out and use them again, I'll just do that. I got an assortment of bolts over there. I'm sure I can come up with something. But so let me wall these out a little more and see if I can get some bolts stuck in there. All right. Aside for turning the camera back on and off, I'm literally into this 15 minutes, so this is gonna work. Like I said, I'll leave this plate on and tip it up on the side, see what I can access. I might not be able to get to everything like it'll look though. Alright, so I got an idea. Those are the new bolt there, that carriage head there, next to the square. So I put the 4 in there. They're just loosely in there. It doesn't, you know, the round hole that I made is just slightly smaller than, you know, what's on the end of a carriage bolt as far as the square goes. So my thought was, let me just use an impact and draw them down. See if they'll, you know, maybe you can see that squish right in there. I don't know if you see part of that square. It's almost wants to come through, so I'm thinking, you know, just run a bolt or a nut right down, and them suckers will be pressed in there, sort of. So let me try that. But that's where the bolt holes are supposed to be. Like I said, that plate has the pattern for them. Not sure why they don't have the holes in the body, but it is what it is. I think this is going to work. It fits on there. I mocked it up, and I was a little concerned with these bolt holes. You know, is that going to be enough to come out with the, you know, with the you know, the fucking shaft there, whatever I want to say. I'm thinking even if it does, you know, misalign a little bit, I might be able to put a washer back here, you know, to step it out if I need to step it out just a hair or whatever, adjust it. And this might even have play going back and forth. That's actually the old engine, but you know what I'm saying? So if that thing is misaligned, you know, this thing has its own keyway, so you can't really mess with that. But I think it goes this way. Yeah. So if I put this on there, you know, and it needs to be adjusted one way or the other. Make sure that's not going on there. Looks like it's got a little step there, but I'll figure that out. But anyways, if I need to adjust that, I will. Whether I need to put a washer back here, see what I'm saying? Make it come in and out, but I think it's going to be close, if not on the target. We'll see what happens. On second thought, instead of mashing them down, I might need these to have a little play, you know, when I'm lining up the engine holes. So I'll just zip tie them for now, and then when I get the engine on there, you know, then I can suck them in, I guess. But because I want to make sure everything fits first before I go wailing on them, you know, make them stick in there. Anyways, so I just got them loosely in there. I'll put this engine in place next, see if everything's hunky-dory. Alright, so if you look at that one bolt, let me see if I can get it there. That guy there, because it was too close to that chain and the sprocket, I couldn't go the typical way. Like you see them carriage bolts down there. Went right in. Well, you can't see the other ones because they're dark, but they're over there. So, like I said, this bolt here, where was it? Right here. I had to do upside down. Big deal, right? There's the other one. Right there. So everything's bolted on. I tip this down. Everything married up great. I don't know if you can see that without a light. I was a little concerned with the belt lining up, but it's just loose because you got to put this. You put this on, boom. I mean, if it's misaligned, it's not by much. Only way to tell, you know, if it runs, put that belt guide. It might be a little bit too close. I don't know. Might be able to adjust that. Yeah, I don't really like the. Let me see. Yeah, that's kind of rubbing on it. I'll have to take that belt guide off, just a piece. But the drive belt in there, she lines up good. So, I got about an hour into this. I'm just going to put, well, there's oil in there, put some gas in there, because I'm about out of time. I want to see if this thing starts. If this thing starts, that's going to be unbelievable. Because literally, if you had an engine and was just going to replace the engine, you didn't have to drill the holes. You know, if it was the same engine. We're talking about a 10-minute thing here. 4 bolts. Take the belt off, 4 bolts. I mean, that's nothing. So anyways, let me put some gas in there, see if this booger starts. And I do have to adjust that belt keep there right quick, but let me see what's up. Alright, fire in a hole. Everything's buttoned up. Just put some gas in it, check the oil. Oddly enough, this doesn't have a switch or a key or anything. Oh, it's probably this thing. Yeah, that's probably just separates a contact or something. So as long as that's in, it should start. It's got to stop and rabbit, so turn one rabbit the other. So put that sucker to full blast. Gas is on. Alright, check the oil. Gas. Oop. Leaking out of there. So it should start. Technically, I'm not going to hook up a starter, well, I should just see if it works, but let's see it. Yeah. Brush fingers. Unbelievable, huh? Look at this goddamn mess. Let's see if this thing works. I don't know what I can do here. Might need some belts, but shit, that came out way better than expected, so I don't know what to say. I didn't expect that to be that easy. I mean, literally, if you got another engine, it's 4 bolts. 4 bolts. So you have to take the belts off. 4 bolts, taking the belts off. I mean, that could be a 10-minute deal here. I expected, you know, maybe you had to half the thing or, you know, do something, but what an easy fix. What an easy fix. I ran it around a little bit and, you know, I don't see any problems with this thing. The oil looks good, it was clean, so I'm probably going to sell this for $300. And like I said, I need a gas tank anyway, so that'll work out. And there's a starter on there, that's probably worth $100, so what a score. What a score. So there you have it. Fixing the snowblower, swapping an engine on a snowblower. Really, 10 minutes. Took me an hour, but that's because I had to drill the holes and mess around with the camera and everything, so I got about an hour into this. And I do have to get going, but don't know what else to say. Again, I mean, I might even keep this for myself. I don't know what size engine that is. It's obviously a little bigger than that guy, but next snowstorm, I'll run this, before I sell it, I'll run this, make sure it's up to snuff. Because I got a Troy bill. I'll sell my Troy bill and keep this if it does good. This is my Troy bill's a 24 cut, this is a 27, so it figures better. And I don't know, really thrilled with that. See, you got a little light cord here, so put the light up. That's a little better. Anyways, that's all I got for now. Thanks for watching.